Hey, I'm Jess,
I'm Rick.
and we're from Night Thieves, and you're listening to Heavy Mental Breakdown.
So Night Thieves. Why do you guys name yourself Night Thieves? And how long have you guys been going for?
Well, Night Thieves was like a very, very long chat of different band names that we finally concluded with, because it was the one that I think everyone broadly agreed with. We went through like hundreds of them, uh, a few really bad ones, I think, that not many people agree with. And I already forgotten a few of them. Like I remember trying to play with like something with like Night Falls or something like that. That didn't go down very well.
Night
But
Falls.
yeah, but I think Night Thieves was one kind of everyone sort of agreed with. Rick.
Yeah. Somewhere there's just a long list of people suggesting stuff and then people almost agreeing and then one person shooting it down and then we finally I think we got to Night Thieves, but there's like months long like chat of band names.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of like it was sort of on the themes of night and yeah, stealing the night away. I don't
No,
know.
I like it. I'm a huge horror fan and a big vampire fan, so just anything with night and just I don't know. I don't know. It seems like a night thief just seems like this little like terror like running around at night just like stealing shit. I like
Yeah,
it. I like it.
nice.
But how long have you guys been going for?
So night as a band, Night Thieves. It's we've been together since like I'm scared to like say it's 9 years, isn't it? It's going to be 10 years next year.
Nice,
Been a,
nice.
been a while, yeah.
Approaching the 10-year anniversary. That's sick.
That's scary as
Not
well.
a lot
Like
of bands can
10 years
say
has already
that.
gone past, yeah. But like it's kind of started off with Rick and I had already played in quite a few bands before, and we just sort of wrapped up a project when our guitarist from a previous band had moved to Germany, and we thought we are gonna sort of do a new project. And then that's when we sort of teamed up with Paul, who's the guitarist in Night Thieves, and he's the one as well who came up with like really great arrangements to music and stuff, and that really gelled quite well together as a new project, and that's kind of how we kind of formed. And sort of Ryan is probably the most recent member, but he's been with us with a few years, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's very much a permanent member of the band as well.
Okay. So the song we're breaking down today, it is called you guys wanted to break down Home today.
Yeah.
Why did you choose that song and what does this one mean to you guys that you wanted to talk about the story?
I think Home's an interesting one because we got it's off the back of our album Metaxas. We've got a few like heavier Metaxas. It's kind of it's about like in between states, being in between states, kind of going on a journey where because our last EP Polarity was all about opposite ends, like being conflicted or existing in two polar opposite ends and stuff. And Metaxas is very much then the journey of kind of navigating yourself through kind of that environment that we're in. And Home is kind of a special one because it's probably a little more emotional, a bit more anthemic as a song out of all of our album, and it's like bringing people back to kind of. It's all about if you sort of everyone probably at some point feels a bit lost, you know, during their journey in life of what they want to do, or maybe they don't feel like they belong anywhere. That's a very common thing in our kind of community, and ultimately, home is where you make it, and that's really kind of summing up what that song is all about. And with that kind of anthemic feel to it, it brings that kind of emotional kind of string and message back home. And that's kind of is the way it's also received a lot in our gigs, and
Cool.
you know, I think
What inspired you to make a song like this one?
well, I can't remember. Do you remember, Rick, how you kind of pull together? I mean, what I do is I'll come up with a theme after hearing it. So for me, once the arrangement starts coming out, I start to get inspired by it, but I can't remember how the idea came about. Do you, Rick?
Yeah, I think it's quite. I think Paul kind of came up with the concept of the song and the overall feel of it.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, with the album that we had, we really wanted to try and explore everything we'd been doing beforehand. So we kind of we probably did some of the heaviest songs we've done and probably the most proggy songs we've done, but also we wanted to go the other way and kind of show the full spectrum of the band. And I think that one came out of like, yeah, we really want to create something that's got a bit of a big stadium feel to it, but it got some really nice synths over the top with like kind of a really driving beat, and something that would add something a bit more to our live shows. So it would definitely change it up a bit, and it's become quite a special point in the set.
Nice.
We just like one of the breakdowns, we get everyone to get the phones out, and it's created a really nice atmosphere, actually, especially watching it on stage and people kind of really connecting with the song has been quite a special thing. And it's also
there's nothing better as a musician than playing it in person and seeing people enjoy it.
Oh, yeah,
Nothing better than that.
And it kind of starts off it's got kind of almost a music box kind of start to it. And that has always been a really nice point for me, especially it's kind of a breathing moment in the set where we can kind of like really go, okay, this is, a point where we can collect ourselves, kind of look out of the audience and really focus, and then it's back into it, and it's become a really great part of the set, honestly.
Yeah, and that kind of that reminds me, because it does start with like a musical kind of music box kind of little twinkly thing at the beginning. Kind of that's kind of a bit of nostalgia, isn't it, for a lot of people, about like a bit childhood and taking you back to memories, or maybe
absolutely
at a time that you feel,
we're all doing that right now. We're all upset and pissed off, and all we want to do is watch cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
God, why can't it just be that easy?
Yeah, life's hard. You have to go through it.
Life's hard, make music. I like that saying. Life's hard, make music.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the new merch T-shirt.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I'm actually writing that down because I think that's sick. Life is
a really cool quote.
Make music. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Metaxas has been out. So that came out. Did I say that right? Metaxas?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. That just came out in March of this year. So just a couple months ago.
Yeah, it was exciting. Exciting.
So as the album as a whole, how is it doing? How are people responding to it?
I think really well. We're really, really, really happy with the kind of the reviews we've got so far.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Coming up to us saying, "Oh, we love these tracks. These are my favorite tracks," and stuff like that. So it's always like quite nerve-wracking, isn't it? Before like we do all that work, and then you've got like a little period where you just got to sit on it. You can't even say anything about it, and you're like, can't wait till I release it out to the world. And then at the same time you've got anticipation, what people don't like it and stuff like that. But it was really good to get even like coverage and quite a few magazines and stuff with really good reviews and doing features and stuff. So all that hard work was like, all such a relief afterwards.
When it pays off.
Exactly. But also, the fact that people have connected to those kind of songs has been like the best thing ever. Yeah.
And you said people are really responding well to it live. How many times, approximately, how many times do you think you've done this one live?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, we started, I'm pretty sure we started that this year, and we must have had Must have at least 6 or 7 gigs, hey, Rick?
I was going to say that. Yeah, it's probably about 6 or 7 times so far.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you have a pretty good understanding of what it's doing out there. That's awesome. Um, so what I like to do on this podcast is I like to listen to the music that artists write, and read the lyrics and kind of be like, okay, this is what I read, but this is how it makes me feel, and this is how it makes me feel in the moment. And then we have like a dialogue of like, oh, this is what you meant, and how can it be related but meaning, like, how could it like say one thing but mean like several other things?
Yeah.
It's like it's the beauty of songwriting. That's what we're doing. But one thing, so actually, I think this is the first time I might be doing this. I think it is. So
Mhm.
I think I want to start doing this. It's kind of fun. It's a fun way to go into it. And I just thought of it when you were talking. Anyway, so home. I am. I was born and raised in San Jose, California. I would live there for 21 years. And then at 22, I moved out to Los Angeles for film school. And I was there for 10 years. And when I was there, I lived in like three different dorms when I was in college. And then I had an apartment with my roommates. And then I had three other apartments actually after that. And then I've lived in Chicago, and now I'm living in New York, and now I'm moving to Arizona next month.
Wow.
Wow. You're a traveler.
I don't know where home is anymore.
You take home
Like,
with you, baby. Hey.
exactly. So, and it's funny. I was just having this talk with my wife, and she was like, "Well, home is wherever I'm at." And I'm like, "That's true."
Exactly.
I'm like, "That's 100% true." But there is that weird, like, especially when we talk about like nostalgic feelings, because like my childhood home isn't even in the family anymore. So I'm like, the place that I considered home for 21 years is just I can't anymore. It's
Mm,
weird.
it
And
is.
I think a lot of us use home as like a metaphor for just like a belonging somewhere. Like, it
Yeah, it's
doesn't
an
have to be
anchor.
like with your family, or like it's just a place of belonging.
Absolutely. It's an anchor, isn't it? Because,
Yeah.
like you say, home can mean very different things to different people. Because some people don't even have, when you think about home physically and growing up, some people didn't even have a happy childhood, but they might have those one or two, memories, or that, as we'll delve into, we talk about searching for something where you feel like you belong as well. So, that you kind of, people know when they feel uncomfortable or comfortable or feeling at peace or not feeling right. And it's kind of that compass point, isn't it, to find out, where you feel like you're meant to be, sort of thing. And yeah, I think people can probably interpret different things depending on your experiences. And that's the whole point of the song, really. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it's just a feeling too. Like, it's weird. I'm not from Chicago. Like I said, I'm from California, but I had visited Chicago, so like there was a point where like for like 10 years in a row I was there every single year. Like, I just loved it, and I lived there for a while. My best friend's there. I don't know, I just feel like Chicago's home. I just like, I don't know, it's the feeling of it. Like you were saying, and like I feel comfortable here. I feel like my people are kind of here. Like, I get the city. I don't know.
and and that's the thing, isn't it? You don't know when you're gonna find that.
Right.
Maybe you've already found it and you hold on to those things, or you've lost those things, or maybe you search for those things when you're inspired by it, or it's from like, for you, it's like your past experiences of when you knew you kind of felt grounded with your environment, your
Right.
friends, and the people that you
Right.
get on with and things. It's interesting, isn't it? How
Yeah.
people might feel what home is. And it actually, Rick, I think you guys also helped. I think in our video you'll see, like, there's a board, and we've got people to write down what home means to them. There was quite a few.
Oh.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really we reached out to people on Instagram and said we'd like to hear about what home means to you. and we got so many amazing responses, and we wrote them down and put them on a board, and it's in the video, and it's zoomed in a couple of times, but it's also as a picture on the in the video, while the actress kind of goes around looking around the home. And yeah, it meant a lot to get those messages from people, and it was great to include them in the video.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's cool, like when like followers and supporters and fans can like feel like they're part of it too. Like not just like we're looking at this band from like an Instagram like phone lens, but it's like, oh, we're actually involved in something with them.
Yeah, and it is about.
I love when bands do stuff like that.
Yeah,
because that's where that community is. That's where home is.
It's great to connect with new people.
I am excited to listen to this one then. All right, this is a song called Home by my new friends Night Thieves out in the UK, and it's off their new album that just dropped March 20th. I have not listened to it yet, so this is my first time listening to it and listening to it with you. And home is a tough word for a lot of people, and so just the name of it alone feels a little heavy already. This is Home by Night Thieves. Let's break this track down. Bassist. All right. I heard you sneak in there. I caught ya. I love a good bass line when I hear it. I'm just like, yes, there it is. I found it. All right. Well, drifted far away from where you are from. Maybe never felt where you belong. All you know for sure is that you're lost amongst the distant faces. Maybe that's where you're meant to go. Oof. Rough. Drifted away, far away from you. I'm so far gone. Like, and isolated, like just drifted so far. Like like in the ocean, and you're just like drifting, you're out there. Like, who knows what's out there? Sharks, like you can be in danger. Like, you have no clue, but you were just so far away.
Absolutely.
Drifted far away from where you are. Ooh, I'm on to something, but I'll get back to that. Maybe never felt where you belong. All you know for sure is that you're amongst the distant faces. Again, yeah, being just so far gone.
Yep.
Yeah, talk to me about this first one. Like, why did you start it this way?
Yeah, I guess in order to find home, you kind of need that compass, right? And our emotions go up and down all over the place. You don't know sometimes until you go through some of these experiences, right? And I guess the one way you'd know is when you don't feel at that place and you feel off. And like I said, it's when you drifted far away, something doesn't feel right.
Right.
You know you're kind of away from what your inner guide is kind of like telling you, right? And and one of those things, is the common thing of not feeling like where you belong, and you know you could be disorientated with your environment, or where you are in your job, or anything that
Yeah.
can make you feel a bit off. And
Yeah.
that, just starting from that journey, is kind of where you start to navigate, right, to where you want to get to, where you want to be, basically. And I think everyone has to, sometimes people experience that and would have to go through that in order to find the right place.
Yeah, I feel like as much as a lot of my pain from my past has really hurt, um, this podcast wouldn't be here.
Mm,
Because I wouldn't
yeah.
have a reason to be wanting to get this shit out. It's just like, but it's stuff like that. Like, a lot of those hard times just kind of make you a better person. At least that's what we hope does for us when we go through hard times. Um, Drifting
Absolutely.
far away.
Mm.
I was gonna say, um, so water is a big deal to me. Um, but when you're swimming in the ocean and you're drifting far away and you don't have like things to float on, or you're not on a boat or anything, you are gonna drown very quickly.
That would be my worst nightmare, to be honest. The fact that any kind of open, I've seen
Open
plenty of
water.
horror films like that,
Right.
where you sort of
Open
open
water.
it. Exactly. No one,
Yeah.
no one's there.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
the
just
worst.
that, yeah, just this first part alone just kind of seems terrifying in a way, too.
Yeah, absolutely. It does instill kind of like that fear, and something not right for you to, well, in most cases, want to do something about it. But
And like, yeah, maybe that's where you're meant to go. I know it's not this dark, but like someone going through a darkness, like I said, like someone could totally look at this as like an ocean, and they're getting further and they're drowning and they're going to drown. Maybe, and if you drown, like
hmm.
you die. And so it's like maybe that's what I deserve most.
That's an interesting take. Gosh, that is a dark take. Hey,
Maybe that's where you're meant to go. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here.
uh,
Because when we're in our really dark shit, some of us think it's, including myself at one point, thought the world would be a better place if I wasn't here.
oh,
Um,
that's interesting, because I guess in my head I'd have thought, well, like you said before, it's you might be in that situation for a reason, but of course not making the decision of what that reason would be, and what decision you make off the back of it.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Distant faces. You don't even want to be among people anymore. Fuck everybody.
Mm. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think a lot of people
Mm.
can feel like that at some point. And
Yeah, and then you drifted from where you are from, where you belong. Is this kind of like you is like a person talking to themselves or talking to somebody in need?
I guess it is like a voice within,
Okay.
like a voice within, um, almost like narrating kind of how you feel, and that I mean, for me, that could be sort of, yeah, and in a voice that's talking about kind of what's happening to you, but then trying to make sense, I guess, of it as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I said, it's always going back to that compass, because that's what the whole album's about, is kind of navigating well. I mean, when you mentioned as well this idea of drowning, I got those lyrics in even another song. Got another song called Maritime, that's also kind of connecting a very similar theme in that way, but Maritime is more from a perspective of kind of uh, going on an adventure or carrying on a story later. but I guess yeah, this one's very much different in that yeah, it can be scary, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, and
After reading this, it kind of leaves me
yeah,
with that feeling of like someone's in trouble. Someone like it's like a
yeah,
scary kind of like, okay, how is this person going to get out of this now?
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Hmm. What about you, Rick?
This is
When you first hear this with this first like, kind of where does it take you?
my thing with the first verse when Jess first wrote it. It always felt like as I think Jess said before, it's like a setup to being. You have to realize that you're lost to want to find home, or you need to realize that not you're not at home. So I think the line for me that stands out is the maybe that's where you're meant to go. It's like you need to be in this place to realize that you need to go and find home. And it's sometimes that's kind of a wake up call to say that, and people need that to like realize you need to be out of your comfort zone to then realize you need to go and search for it and
Yeah.
uh, you know get that kick to go and find home.
That just takes me to like you need to be able like sometimes you don't know that you're lost until you kind of hit the bottom. Or like
Yeah,
you're at the lowest point in your life and you don't think it can get lower. That's when you need to like, oh, okay. Because like a lot of us we wait until it gets there to do anything about it. And
Exactly.
that was me. That was me. I was on my way out.
Mm.
Um Something changed in my mind last minute. Don't know what it was really. But yeah, and it was after that experience. Um,
Yeah.
well, at least I think, eventually, I mean, it was really hard and really dark, depressive times, but I think it just made me a better person. But I think I needed to go, like what you were saying, kind of just fall and collapse and
Mm.
swim your way back up to the surface.
Exactly. And sometimes also again like in those lyrics people sometimes feel alone in those kind of experiences.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know that's also the beauty of also sharing experiences if you're feeling like that when you're feeling like you're on your own and everything is kind of like bad, it's all sort of the bad luck of things that can happen. And but sometimes you can find that little bit of light at the end of the tunnel if you find that kind of meaning of that's where you need to go to find a better place, to kind of offer also a little bit of hope that it's not just all it's not just all horrible. There's a sometimes there's a reason to those things, and you're not the only person as well to so there is a little bit of hope there that you know there is a light for you as well.
Mhm. You can always find your way back home if you look towards your own. In front of you, amongst the strangest places you carry on searching for, you'll always find your way back home. If you really want to, don't hold on. Let go. You will find your way. You'll find your way. The line that stands out there to me is if you really want to. And one thing I've learned is that, like, especially in relationships, friendships, whatever, you can't help somebody who doesn't want the help. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you love them, no matter what you do, if that person does not want to be helped, there's no point. And when we don't want to help ourselves, you have to really want to fix yourself in order to do it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I've had that in my family, and my sister who also had kind of issues at that in that space. And for the family or anyone involved, like you say, it's really difficult because on one end sometimes they'll feel suffocated because you're trying to help them, but it's there's a into resistance because in in their mind they're in a different place and stuff, and that's very hard, like you say, unless there's something in them to want to. it's very hard sometimes. All you can do is be there for them, really,
Yeah.
at that point, right?
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
you
and
know,
that's kind of when you realize that, hey, I should be taking care of me.
yeah, yeah,
Because if I'm holding on other stuff, I'm definitely going to drown. I can't carry all this on my own.
yeah. And everyone's important, and for those people as well to convince, like you're important to, to that
Right.
give yourself your own love to yourself,
Right.
to bring yourself out of that. And of course that's very difficult, for some
Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
Disconnected from this unfamiliar scene, like a language you can't understand or speak. Are you running from utopia, trapped in this world you live in? Maybe it's here you're meant to be. You can always find your way back home if you look toward your own. In front of you are lots of stranger spaces you carry on searching for. You will always find your way back home if you really wanna. Don't hold on, let go. You will find your way. You will find your way. Find your way.
Okay, actually, we'll stop it for a sec because you guys were saying, well, I think it was you, Rick, saying that you kind of wanted this song to feel a little bit more like arena, feel loud, and just something more, just something bigger. And what's funny? The moment that I felt the song was bigger is when it slowed down. That's when I felt like, oh, okay, we just had this very kind of like climatic journey in the first couple minutes, and now it just like gets to a point where like, oh, let me like take this in, let me relax with this for a second. And that's kind of when I felt that it was most cinematic was there when it got more quiet.
yeah. And that, I think that is the bit as well that is usually created when we play that song off to the
Yeah.
crowd. The funny thing is I always like do a little quick with the crowd at that point, like just say, let's just imagine you're in whatever place you are in the massive stadium, get your lights
Yeah,
out.
I was just gonna say,
Let's
pull your
reach
lighters
out
up
for a
or
moment together.
turn the lights on your phone. Exactly, that's what that feels like. Like I feel like it could be at
Yeah.
like I can see myself at like a amphitheater on like a warm summer night, fucking up on the lawn, and just like the breeze is hitting in right during that part, and you're just laying on the lawn. It's like, ah, it's cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
I
sometimes
don't know. It just takes me to the lawn at a summer night at a music festival.
absolutely, yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick. All right, let's go back.
Find your way to your find your place you belong. You can find your way to your you can find your place you can always find your way back home if you look toward your own. In front of you are lots of stranger spaces you carry on searching for. You will always find your way back home if you really wanna. Don't hold on, let go. You will find your way. You will find your way.
Well, that was Home by Night Thieves. Let's go over some of those final lyrics there. Yeah, disconnected from the unfamiliar scene, like a language you can't understand or speak. Are you running from utopia, trapped in this world you live in? Maybe it's here you're meant to be. There's that positive spin you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sometimes
so maybe it's here where like, to me it seems like maybe you should be alive.
there's another, and there's also another kind of theme I was thinking about when I was coming across those lyrics. The other kind of perspective is, I think I mentioned about like trying to find that place that you think is home, and sometimes, from another perspective, we have an idea in our head of a fantasy or an ideal thing of what home is, and sometimes the other part of it is maybe that's not really what home is, and maybe it's in front of you without you sort of realizing as well. So there's like a little bit of that sometimes about kind of chasing something, or sometimes being resistant to kind of what is probably home to you, or sometimes not being able to see something that you don't realize is actually something important to you if you lose sight of things in a way,
Which is a very easy thing to do.
Yeah, exactly.
It
So
happens
that's all, like,
way quicker than you could think.
exactly.
And then you're like get older in your 30s and 40s. You're like, fuck, I wish I would have figured this shit out sooner. Where's home? I still don't know.
Yeah, and some people may never.
You may never exactly.
Taking it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Some people don't want to find it. It's
And
weird.
maybe
It's a weird
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and maybe that's their comfort place. That's their
Exactly.
place, and they don't realize that, again, trying to find something that's not really them, and maybe that's not what they want to do. Maybe they do want to drift, and maybe they do want to travel, and they want to go through life in that way, and that's what's home to them. You can't like box people or box experiences. It's all very unique to you.
Yeah, and what you're saying here, so you say disconnected from the unfamiliar scene, and we're saying here that darkness could become familiar in a way, where it's like you rely on that, and if you start to feel anything outside of that, it's unfamiliar, like what you're talking about here.
That's
You're
interesting.
like,
That's a good, yeah, that is a good take on
you're
it.
like, I don't know happiness.
Yeah,
I don't even know who I would be if I was happy.
that is so true. That's so true. Plenty of times been
Disconnected from an unfamiliar scene. It's like you're in a room full of people that are laughing and having a good time, and you're just like, what are you guys laughing about? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And it's probably completely, and maybe they're not your people even.
yeah, talking a language you can't understand or speak. I don't even, like, you guys are talking about something I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just not even here. I can't participate in this. And that could just be a metaphor for life too. Like, everyone who's doing this 9 to 5, everyone who is, I don't know, doing like social norms and just like not questioning things. It's like,
Absolutely.
you're like, I don't even know. I can't have a full-time job. How do you do this? How do you spend 50 plus hours a week away from your family and then have time for creative stuff, or like I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah, or
And that's a language that I can't speak. I cannot have a corporate conversation with anybody.
Yeah, it's so true. And when everyone else is talking about that, or talking about the picket fence or something like that, and you just don't relate to that. You don't relate to that kind of life whatsoever.
Yeah, like the American dream, as we call it.
Yeah, absolutely.
No one's living the American dream out here right now. It's not possible.
Yeah,
we're all moving back in with our parents. Like, this is not the American dream.
Right, but that's the thing. You see something completely different on the screen, and you see different things on social media, and you think, That's why everyone's like successful and stuff, apart from me, you know.
And then it makes you feel disconnected.
It does, yeah. And no wonder, you know, people kind of struggling, and then you start to think, as many people like, oh, why is my life inadequate and stuff like that. You know, all that comes up, doesn't it?
Does.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here. Sometimes I get way too crazy with these like messages and meanings and shit. Just hear me out for a sec. Drifted far away from where you are from. Be a sec. My brain's moving. My brain's moving.
I like the fact that you're really interrogating the lyrics as well. This is like amazing that someone actually even pays it, to pay that much attention to them as well. Great.
You know, and so it's weird. And I think maybe like I'm trying to pull little pieces of it because that's what I've been doing for myself. I am, as of today, 187 days sober, and I know that because I'm keeping track of it every single day. So I knew this morning, 187.
Congrats.
Thank you. But it was really bad for a minute, and I felt very disconnected from this unfamiliar scene. I didn't know. Well, okay, so it happened after a divorce that I was in, and we were together for 14 years. And one night she vanished overnight, and I never saw her again. So it was pretty crazy, a pretty crazy time. But I felt isolated. I felt like I was alone, and even though I wasn't really those things, I had a lot of people that I could reach out to, but just in those moments, it led me to spiral, to a suicide attempt, to drinking, to being addicted to it. And I just felt like I wasn't interacting with the world anymore in a weird way. Like I felt like I was on autopilot. I would wake up and sleep in until like 3 or 4 o'clock, work until about midnight, and then crack open the bottle of whiskey at midnight and drink till I fall asleep.
Gosh, trauma does that to you, right? I mean, when you have something like that happen, you question everything, right? And
you're trapped in this world that you live in, and like, it almost seems like a world that you created too. You created this world. You don't live here. Well, you do live here, but you live what you created ultimately.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, I mean, other times, because you're interacting with different people in your life, some things are out of your control, and that's the one thing that can really feel really constrained, right? And then you think, you're just kind of stuck or in a place and things like that, right? And you, at that point in your life, you don't feel empowered or anything. You've kind of been sucked into a place, and it's very difficult, like you say, to come out of that.
You get lost in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And it becomes your normal.
Exactly. And then that's the thing, kind of pull yourself out of there. How can you guide yourself out of it, right?
How do you get yourself to stop drowning?
Yeah.
Self-sabotage is a really bad thing. Sometimes people want to continue to be there because they're so used to just having something to just be mad about or upset about. And it's more work to be happy than it is to be depressed out of your mind. It
can be, yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's like a form of like escapism to one extent, or sometimes that's the easiest place to get to, right? Straight after all these kind of things happening, and what's the easiest way to reach it? And sometimes you have to go through that motion, right? It's embarrassing.
It's a strange place. It's one of the strangest places, huh?
Absolutely.
In front of you, amongst the strangest places you carry on searching for.
And that's the
Um,
fiction going out, to find your way out, isn't it?
and
Whatever.
and here's the thing too that my mind also went to. In front of you, amongst the strangest places you carry on and search for, in front of you, I feel like, well, I know I did. I would I would look at myself in the mirror all the time and be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, look at you. Look at you. What are you doing?
Well,
And you're home. You're in your own apartment. You're in your bedroom or bathroom and you're looking at yourself and you're home. But you don't even recognize who you are or where you're at or where you should be.
yeah,
You feel like you're drowning and it sucks.
it does. And it's, I guess that bit of what you just talked about there is that self-reflection, isn't it? At some point in your life, when afterwards, is to self-reflect everything that's going on.
But I'll tell you what, since then, I moved away. I'm in New York now, and I met the greatest person in my entire life, and I married her, and I'm having a kid with her. So you know what? I found my way. So that's how this song,
Amazing.
that's how it ends up. That's how it wraps up.
That's
It's
amazing.
hard to see it. It's hard to see it when you're in it. But
Absolutely.
once you're out of it, it's worth the fight.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's the thing, isn't it? Going through all of that to kind of get there. And sometimes it's not like you said, we talked about before. Like sometimes it's also being easy to fixate on destination, but it'll just it once you go on that, and once you do get yourself out, these things happen in the places you least expect, right? So it's not like you expected that before to happen,
Yeah.
that it's where it led you to, and where things lead, for many of us, it leads us sometimes to.
Yeah, like after that, divorce was the darkest time of my life, and it led me to not want to be here and all of it. But ultimately, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have my favorite person. I wouldn't be expecting a child. I wouldn't be doing this podcast and trying to make a difference. So, like, yeah, pain sucks. You get lost,
Mm,
but you won't drown. Though a little life draft will come and grab you at some point.
exactly, exactly.
What are you thinking, Rick? I feel like I haven't heard you in a minute. What are all your thoughts on all this stuff?
I mean, it's for me, it's a very uplifting song. In At the end, it's kind of, it does start dark, but for me, it's almost a very nostalgic song, because while we were writing it, it just brings back a lot of really good memories, actually, for me, especially in the choruses. And for me, it's kind of a journey song. And I've played it on quite a lot of like car journeys and things, and it's kind of not actually getting to a point, but a point where you're nearly home. So my parents live about a 4 or 5 hour drive away, and there's a point where you kind of come over the hill and you can like see where my parents live, and it's kind of when the chorus breaks, that's kind of, I kind of see that, and it brings back lots of memory of kind of, it's not just finding the place, it's like it's all the memories that come back with it as you're reaching that point, and you're not home yet, but you're at that point. That I find it's that great feeling when you're only like 10-15 minutes away from home, and you're kind of like, oh, I'm nearly there.
Yeah,
And
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm going to relate something that I'm pretty sure this is what you're kind of referring to. So when I moved to LA from San Jose, like it was always a dream of mine to move to LA and like work in TV and film and all that. So when I actually was in LA, I had an internship, and I was living in East LA, but my internship was on Hollywood Boulevard. And when I would drive from East LA to Hollywood, I would always see the skyline of LA. And I would be like, and I knew it was always after a certain turn on the 5 freeway, you would make that turn. It's like, boom, there it is. And it was just like the sun would always be kind of like coming down. There's like this beautiful like light behind it. And I was like, wow, I'm here. I'm here.
yeah, and it's that point. It's it's almost that kind of excitement when you reach that point. Like,
Yeah.
there's, as well as like going home, there's a place that I used to go on holiday a lot with my parents, my family. We used to go to Scotland a lot, and there's one point, and we always used to go back to the same place, but it's interesting. Like, obviously my dad used to drive us, and it was, quite a long trip. And since then, I've actually, I've done driving with my family on the same road, and it's kind of just that point where you reach I don't know, it's that excitement as you're almost there, but you're not quite, and you've kind of really enjoy that last like 10-15 minutes of driving, because you're nearly there, and it's kind of the excitement builds before you just get there. That's probably one of my favorite bits is that. And that when the chorus breaks, that's the feeling I get. So for me, the chorus is quite a happy place for me to be in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Somebody talks a lot about that.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it's weird. I'm listening to this, so I'm like, oh, my sad life and all this, and then you're like, oh, this is a happy song for me. Let's go. But that's awesome though.
It starts in a dark place, and then and that's what I mean. It kind of, you gotta,
Right.
You need to realize you're lost, but then when you find that you're home, that it almost means more, because you've been in such a dark place that you need to realize and be thankful.
It's like after you drive up that hill, the rain's past you. Like, you just get up that hill, and it's only it's smoother driving downhill.
And it's that kind of feeling, and almost like it's the memories that come back with it.
Yeah,
not the visual view and everything. It's all the memories that come back, and it's kind of that for me.
Power music. Well, thank you for sharing this song and your story and listening to mine. This was a good song, and I can see why it is a fun one to play live and to witness it, like being like an audience member and watching it live too. I can see it. Do you guys ever play any shows out here in the US?
We'd absolutely love to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good to know. If you guys are out here, let me know.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably stick on socials and try. Yeah, at some point, hopefully, if we can ever make it. But
what's the famous gig venue? Is it Red Rocks
in Colorado?
In Colorado,
in Denver. Yeah.
I got the Incubus live DVD from there.
It's such an iconic place to go. I've never seen a show there, but I've been to Red Rocks. Like, even when it's not open, like, people can go, and like there's like a restaurant and you can go eat out, just like chill and like look at the. But I never lived there. I only visit occasionally because my parents live there, so I never really spent too much time.
That's my dream gig venue. That would be.
But yeah, I've lived in the U.S. my whole life, and I've never even seen a show there. So I don't know. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy guy. So you guys just put this album out. So what's the rest of 2026 look like for Night Thieves? You guys hitting the road? Are you making music videos? What is up next?
Well, we've got one gig coming up at the end of the month in the UK in Brighton, and I think we've got probably another little mini release coming later of one of our songs. So
yeah, we've got one more song coming up called Freer, and that's being released as a single in the next few weeks.
Oh, okay.
And then we've got, as Jess said, we got gigs at the end of August. We've got a few more gigs towards the end of this year, which we're really looking forward to. There's a big one in London. We're going up to Liverpool. And then we've got a few other things that haven't been announced yet, which we can't talk about. But
you're headlining a festival in Bath. I'm there.
Well,
I'm there.
That is the dream.
You're gonna perform at the Roman Baths, like right there.
That would be really
in that area, yeah, like on top.
There you go.
On top, yeah.
Anyway. And then I think we're just gonna focus a bit more on writing. We can't. It's one of those where we need to get back into the groove of it, and just we're at the fun stage of writing. now where we kind of just throw ideas around. And
Yeah.
it's,
You're at a place where the pressure's off a little bit, just a little bit.
yeah, and we can go a bit mad and write a jazz song.
Love it.
with some slap bass.
I really like the bass in that song. How long have you been playing bass for?
Since I was about 12, 13, I think.
Okay.
That bass line actually is the little run is actually, it means quite a lot, because I wouldn't say I was lost in the song when I think Paul first came with like the idea, and I was struggling to find how I could make that song special for me, like putting in a bass line, because I was at the moment I was kind of just following along, and I was like, this isn't my song yet. I don't feel like I've got my place in the song. And then I wrote that little bass run in that second verse. There's a little bit of a bass run, and I was like, I feel like I've contributed to the song at this point. I feel like this is and yeah. So
it stood out, man. It stood out to me.
It is the bit where I was like, okay, I found my place in the song now. I'm not just kind of just playing for the sake of it. And
I always appreciate that, honestly, when I hear a good bass line in a track. I always call it out, and I'm always like, that's sick. Keep doing that.
I do love that bit.
It's a good spot. Well, if anybody wanted to stay updated on all these cool things you guys are up to, where would you send them? Where would you tell them to go?
We're on the socials. we got Instagram. I think we're on. We've got Night Thieves official is our handle in a lot of the places. So Insta. I think we just about managed to have a little run on TikTok. Still early days.
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube, you name it, you'll find us if you search Night Thieves for sure.
When I looked you up on, I use Apple Music. I'm an Apple guy. Oh, yeah. I typed in Night Thieves. Nothing came up but you. So
no. Oh my god.
There might have been like a song, but like there was like no. Do you mean this band or anything?
Cool, like we're on it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to check that. Let's.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's like a song called that or nothing, but like there's no like confusion of like, oh, what band is this, or like, I don't know. It was super easy for me, so no excuses, everybody. Just type in Night Thieves, you'll find them. At least on Apple. Yeah. At least on Apple.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
What do you guys think of AI? What do you guys think about these AI streams coming?
Oh my god, they're scary.
They're terrifying, aren't
they? Scary, right?
It's a scary new world. It's so horrible that AI is being used for so much that it shouldn't be. It's taking a lot of creativity out of things, and there needs to be something that kind of, I don't know, there needs to be something that stops all of this.
Well, with those data centers popping up, I think we're heading the opposite direction of that, my friend.
It's just a horrible feeling when you hear
like what do we do?
Well, that and there's got to be your but hopefully that'll be something where we can separate the AI from the real music.
Yeah, I mean, you've been playing bass since you were 12. Now someone who is 12 is going to go on an AI app and create a song, an entire song. And be like, I did it. I did a whole album when I was 12.
Yeah.
In one night.
Yeah. That's it. It's a horrible feeling.
Why are you slacking, Rick? Just kidding. He's like, I'm pumping out an album a night. You got 5 tracks? Oh, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. That's a bad joke to AI people. They're gonna take over my job too, so whatever. But anyway, again, thank you for coming on and sharing your story and allowing me to share mine. I'm very open with my mental health. I talk about it on every episode, and I think if it becomes more normalized, I think it might be a little bit of a better place. So
definitely.
Yeah.
And especially in music. Music is what saved my life after that. It's what got me through to finally find my way home. It was music.
Oh, very good. Very good. And yeah, no, thanks for having us on, and it's great to hear. Yeah, it's absolutely great to hear your story and great to seeing you do what you do as well, like you say. And that's the thing with music, right? It a lot of us pin quite a lot of our kind of experiences, our memories and stuff to music. I know, I
Yeah.
do, right?
Just like what Rick was saying, and I was like, oh yeah, when I was, it's so crazy. Have you guys ever heard of the band Ballyhoo?
I haven't. I don't know
Or
if
any
you have.
fans?
Vaguely, but
Yeah, they are kind of like they're from Baltimore, Maryland, and they are kind of like a ska pop punkish reggae kind of style band. I don't even know what's they're so good. Anyway, they put out an album a year before I moved to LA. And when I was in LA, I was listening to that album all the time. And there was one song in particular that just like motivated me. And I'm just like, I would listen to it every day. And that was when I was like in my early 20s. Just a couple months ago, I brought on the lead singer of that band, and I was able to listen to that exact song with him and tell him, dude, this line, I remember driving through LA, looking at the skyline and hearing your song in this is what it made me feel 15 years ago.
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
it
that's
was
amazing.
it was a wild interaction. It was wild. It was
Gosh, that
so
must be a
cool.
dream. Oh my
But
God.
but but that's what I'm saying though, because like
Yeah.
what I was like the entire conversation was me telling them what that song meant to me 15 years ago and how it inspired me to keep going at a time in need.
That's
15
amazing.
years later, I'm still listening to that song.
That's just so amazing, right? I always listen to back to loads of songs on the playlist just ever grows all the
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, but you always have those ones that are just always there that just never
so
leave the
true.
playlist.
So true. So true.
Well, thank you again. I think I've said thank you 3 or 4 times, but I do thank you because this kind of music is it's very important. What you guys are doing is very important.
and it's to hear your take on it. It really like and what it
Appreciate
means
it.
someone like it as yeah, it really means a lot to hear what people think about.
Well, yeah, yeah. I'm just here sharing my depressing stories. That's all I'm doing here. But no, keep making music, guys. I mean, the world needs this more than ever right now, and we need something to stay excited about and to have faith in. So thank you for what you do and keep doing it.
Great. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
And the way I'm going to end this is, life is tough. Listen to music. No. Make music, because that's what it was, right?
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
Life is tough. Make music. That's how we're ending this.
Definitely.